19. And like I said, I'm going to try my best not to stay on any scriptures too long, because once again, in the coming weeks, we're going to dissect this totally apart so that every one of us can get better at who we are in our nature, and then understand why we have the different types of character that we have in different places. Because when you are able to recognize how to shift, this is my character at work, this is my character at home, this is my character when I'm angry, this is my character when I'm happy, this is my character when I'm upset, this is my character when I'm flourishing, and you can see how to take each one of those, work them with the nature that you've got, and know how to go from one to the other with no hesitation. That's what's going to make this kingdom explode. Because you got to know how to make that shift when it's time to make that shift. That's why it was so difficult whenever Jesus would come along and let folks know, hey, the kingdom of heaven is at hand, do this like this. And they'd be like, huh? They couldn't switch gears. He knew it was time to shift. He knew it was time to change. He called the change. He made note of the change coming, but they didn't know how to respond to it. So since they didn't know how to respond to it, now this is hindered. It ends up doing this instead of this. And that's what he's trying to show us, is when you know what your nature is, and they know what their nature is, and then I give you information to switch your character, and then you change your character to know how to interact with their character. Now, both of you get to stay in your nature, be who you're supposed to be, and know how to walk down the same pathway in harmony. So then I'll know how far down the pathway I'm even supposed to go. I may not be supposed to go the entire pathway. I may be supposed to stop halfway, she keep going, or I go, she stop, or we both stop, or we both go. But that's what it's going to take for you to figure out what your nature is, so that you can understand what you need to be doing with your character. So in 2 Samuel, 19th chapter, verse 31, starting at verse 31, says this. 2 Samuel, 19th chapter, beginning of verse 31, says this. Excuse me. 1 Samuel. Get over to the right place. Nineteenth chapter, beginning of verse 31. Says, and Barzillai the Gileadite came down from Rogelim and went over Jordan with who?
The king.
The king, to conduct him over Jordan. Now Barzillai was a very aged man, even 80 years old. It's 80 years old. And he had provided the king of sustenance while he lay at Mahanaim. And he was a very great man. And the king said unto Barzillai, come now over with me, and I will feed thee with me in Jerusalem. And Barzillai said unto the king, how long have I to live, that I should go up with the king unto Jerusalem? I am this day 80 years old, and can I discern between good and evil? Can thy servant taste what I eat or what I drink? Can I hear any more the voice of singing men and singing women? Wherefore then should thy servant be yet a burden unto my lord the king? Thy servant will go a little way over Jordan with the king, and why should the king recompense me with such a reward? Let thy servant, I pray thee, turn back again, that I may die in mine own city, and be buried by the grave of my father and of my mother. But behold, thy servant Chimham, let him go over with my lord the king, and do to him what shall seem good unto thee. And the king answered, Chimham shall go over with me, and I will do to him that which shall seem good unto thee. And whatsoever thou shalt require of me, that will I do for thee. And all the people went over Jordan. And when the king was come over, the king kissed Barzillai and blessed him, and he returned unto his own place. Now understand, this is the king. Now, David's not yet fully in position. He's not yet fully gotten to the place where he's going to be complete rulership, where he's going to be on a throne, where he's going to be taking care of all of the things. He hasn't gotten to that spot yet. He says to Barzillai, come on and go with me. I know what I got coming. And I know how it's going to be. And you've helped me. Come on over with me. In most cases, to bring it to this lifetime, this would be like you helping the president, and then the president saying, okay, why don't you come with me? I can't go with you. I got something I got to do here. That would be how the conversation would be in contrast and be the exact same way. A lot of people will look at that and say, you crazy. Why aren't you going with the king? Why aren't you going with the president? That's going to be a lifetime of benefits. That's going to be all of these different things. It's going to be the best of food. It's going to be all of these different things. But that won't fit my nature. That's basically what Barzillai is saying. He's saying the state of my nature now, and for what I know you're going to be doing, we won't be a match. This won't be beneficial for the both of us. I'll actually end up being a burden to you. I'll actually end up holding you back from how you're supposed to go do what you know you're supposed to go do. So here's what I'm going to do. As a matter of fact, me holding my position so good is what's helped you right now. me taking care of what I was made to do the way that I was made to do it is what's actually taking care of you right now. And Barzillai understands, I know I'm not supposed to go the whole distance with you. I'm only supposed to get to right here. Now watch. See, walking together does not mean doing the same thing. It means having the same goal.
That's good.
It don't mean doing the same thing. It means having the same goal. So in understanding that if a goal that you set out to do, two people come in to make bread together, to work the process together, it doesn't mean we're supposed to be doing the same thing. It means we're supposed to be headed towards the same goal. And what we end up doing a lot of times is we're saying, you need to be doing this because this is what I'm doing. No, you need to be doing this because this is what I'm doing. So now all of a sudden, ain't nobody doing nothing but fussing. Because you're trying to get each other to switch natures when you should be switching character. So if I can get you to do this like I'm doing this, then we're going to flourish. No, you're not. Because one of you just became unneeded. One of you just became ineffective because now you're not even who you're supposed to be. So here's what that's about to do. That's about to keep you from even being able to hear what you would normally hear because you're not being who you're supposed to be. You're not even going to be able to see what you would normally see because you're not being who you're supposed to be. You're not even going to be able to feel what you should be feeling because you're not being who you're supposed to be. And that's what Barcelona understands. He's saying, my hearing's different. Songs don't sound the same to me. Look at what he asked.